Hi, this is Nick Williford and Manos Berlakis presenting case 202 for the Manual of Percutaneous Coronary Interventions. This is a case illustrating some of the challenges associated with managing thrombus in patients with acute coronary syndromes. The patient presented with an inferior ST elevation myocardial infarction, but unfortunately also had a GI bleed the day prior. Coronary angiography on the left side did not show any significant stenosis on multiple views. We did not see collaterals to the PDA or the posterolateral, which is sometimes seen in patients with STEMI. And this is the right coronary artery, and as expected, it is occluded distally. We can see some staining, which is probably thrombus retaining contrast at the end of the injection. So what to do in patients like this? The first step is to do either balloon or aspiration thrombectomy. We did insert a guide wire and did balloon angioplasty with a 2.0 by 15 millimeter balloon. And now we do have restoration of antegrade flow. There is significant disease in the distal right coronary artery, some flow into a small PDA, and also some flow into the right posterolateral. So what to do next? We did some more balloon inflation. The lesion did not seem to be completely prepared. We did this after rewiring into the posterolateral that seemed to be the larger branch. And once again, we do have some flow, but not the greatest, especially into the PDA. So this looks like a no-reflow. We probably have some distal thrombus embolization in both the PDA as well as the posterolateral. And in cases like this, what we typically would do is try to restore flow into the branches, so balloon angioplasty after wiring into the PDA, but still not the best flow. The patient has no reflow. There are two key treatments for this. One is to give vasodilators, such as adenosine, nicardipine, verapamil, nipride, that can be given intracoronary through a microcatheter. Or the other option is to give antiplatelet agents such as cangrelor or glycoprotein 2b3 inhibitors. In our case, because of the recent GI bleed, we want to be careful with administration of antiplatelet agents, so we decided to give vasodilators. And what we did is administered intracoronary nicardipine as well as adenosine. We gave about 500 mics of adenosine in 3 doses with slow administration. Adenosine can cause bradycardia on the right coronary, but fortunately the patient was stable. And after giving those medications, we gave them through the Penumbra aspiration catheter. The Penumbra aspiration catheter is for aspiration, but works also as a dual lumen microcatheter. And after giving those vasodilators, we do see some better flow into the PDA as well as to the right posterolateral. Still, there are some branches missing. For example, one of the branches of the right posterolateral is occluded. So what to do next? We still have a significant stenosis in the distal right coronary artery. We therefore placed a 3.0 by 22 millimeter drug-eluting stent. And sometimes when we do that, we may have problems by essentially pushing or squeezing the thrombus. And this is exactly what happened. We see here that the distal RCA looks okay, but there was likely some thrombus there. And we had also done a Penumbra thrombectomy before that, but despite that, we still have some thrombus that now seems to have migrated inside the right posterolateral with this filling defect that wasn't there before. So what to do about this? We firstly optimized the stent, wired into the posterolateral. After doing the optimization, the clot actually now is moved into the PDA. So what we did is aspiration thrombectomy. We used the Penumbra, and it was advanced inside the PDA. Before treating with the stent, the Penumbra catheter would not cross into the PDA, but now that the distal RCA was stented, we were able to very nicely deliver the aspiration catheter into the PDA and did the multiple passes. However, we didn't see any visible thrombus retrieved through the Penumbra system. So now the PDA looks okay, but we can't have this clot migration, there's thrombus into the right posterolateral. So what to do? Same thing, we wire it into the posterolateral. We had, unfortunately, a 6 French guide, and the issue with that is we cannot have a body wire together with a Penumbra catheter. There is just not enough space inside the guide for both of them. So what we had to do is take the same wire, put it into the posterolateral, and then get the Penumbra catheter to go and did aspiration thrombectomy on the posterolateral. And this helped resolve this thrombus as well. So now we do have a good result on the distal RCA, decent result in the PDA. There's some flow in the posterolateral, but this superior branch of the posterolateral still has poor flow in it. Now one can say maybe it's good enough and we'll have flow into that inferior branch, but still we thought maybe if we can get a little more flow in the superior branch, that would help down the line, especially since we were not willing to give aggressive antiplatelet treatments in this patient. And these are different projections showing the same thing. So we wired into the superior branch, which was not too difficult, and then did aspiration thrombectomy, once again in that branch. There was some flow going through. We still have no-reflow. And you see that the contrast is not really flowing perfectly, but at least there is some entrance into the branch. And at this point, we decided to stop. The patient had resolution of the chest discomfort. Multiple lessons from this case. The first one is that managing thrombus in acute coronary syndromes, in STEMI, can be challenging. There are many ways to deal with this. Usually the first step is either balloon angioplasty or aspiration thrombectomy. In this case, balloon angioplasty restored some antegrade flow, but we developed no-reflow. The treatment for no-reflow is to give vasodilators and antiplatelet intravenous agents. In this case, we gave them through the Penumbra catheter, and that helped restore some better flow. We also tried to do initially the aspiration thrombectomy, but the Penumbra catheter would not cross through the initial lesion because it was too tight. But after we placed the stent, we were able to do aspiration thrombectomy both into the PDA as well as to the right posterolateral to treat some of the thrombus that got squeezed after we placed the stent. In the end, we were able to recanalize several of the branches, not everything, but in general, it is good to try to get as good flow as possible, especially in the major branches, but sometimes the result may be suboptimal. If the patient did not have a GI bleed, what we have done afterwards is administer either cangrelor or a glycoprotein 2B3 inhibitor to help with a resolution of the thrombus and restoration of better antegrade flow. Thank you.